Most career shutouts by a goaltender. Martin Brodeur holds the record for the most career shutouts by a goaltender in NHL history, with 125 shutouts. Maurice Richard, the impact of his suspension on hockey history. Maurice Richard, also known as the Rocket, was a legendary ice hockey player who played for the Montreal Canadiens in the National Hockey League, NHL. He was known for his incredible speed, scoring ability, and physical play on the ice. However, Richard's career was not without controversy, particularly his suspension in 1955, which had a significant impact on hockey history. The incident that led to Richard's suspension occurred on March 13, 1955, during a game between the Canadiens and the Boston Bruins. Richard was involved in an altercation with Bruins player Hal Laycoe, which escalated into a fight. Referee Frank Udvari intervened to separate the players, but Richard punched him in the face. As a result, Richard was given a match penalty and ejected from the game. The NHL president at the time, Clarence Campbell, announced that Richard would be suspended for the remainder of the regular season and the playoffs. This decision sparked outrage among Canadiens fans, who saw it as unjust and biased against their team. The suspension also had broader implications for the league as a whole. The suspension of Maurice Richard had a significant impact on the Canadiens' performance in the 1955 playoffs. Without their star player, the team struggled to compete and was eventually eliminated in the semifinals. This was a bitter disappointment for the Canadiens and their fans, as they had high hopes of winning the Stanley Cup that year. However, the suspension of Maurice Richard had a deeper impact on hockey history beyond just one season. It highlighted the issue of violence in the sport and the need for stricter discipline to prevent such incidents from happening again. The NHL took steps to crack down on on-ice violence and protect its officials from physical harm. The Richard incident also fueled tensions between English and French Canadians, as many felt that Campbell's decision was motivated by anti-French bias. This highlighted the broader cultural and political divisions that existed in Canada at the time. Despite the controversy surrounding his suspension, Maurice Richard remained a beloved figure in Montreal and throughout Canada. He returned to the Canadiens the following season and continued to be a dominant force on the ice. He retired in 1960 as the NHL's all-time leading goal scorer. In conclusion, Maurice Richard's suspension in 1955 had a significant impact on hockey history, both in terms of its immediate effects on the Canadiens' performance and the broader implications for the game as a whole. The incident shed light on the issue of violence in hockey and the need for stricter disciplinary measures to maintain the integrity of the sport. Maurice Richard's legacy as one of the greatest players in NHL history remains intact, despite the controversy that surrounded his suspension.